What is up, everybody? Ninja Nick here with Tactical Gaming, bringing you guys another interesting video. Now, as far as I know, so haven't checked for an update. Well, didn't see an update, but still haven't found the main mass shooter. He's still at large, which is crazy to think about, but kinda gives me the aspect of, if this dude was truly right-leaning and MAGA like they say he was, this dude would have been caught a long time ago, and he would have been put all over the news media like crazy. I think this gentleman was something a lot worse. I think he was a left-leaning, and they know it. But anyways, we're gonna get into this. So the shit, sorry, just woke up not too long ago. Haven't had coffee yet. Waiting for that to get done. But Senate Judiciary Committee holds hearing on safety and well-being of unaccompanied children. So the ORR and this lady right here, the blonde with the glasses, she's gonna be getting some good questions, and typical like any Biden nominee, can't answer yes or no questions at all.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Marcos, can I just start with you? You testified a moment ago to Senator Butler that every child gets a Know Your Rights presentation. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Is that before or after you release them to labor traffickers?
Exactly,
Senator,
ma'am.
child that
Did you like see that pause? Like literally, she had a pause. Like she had that. Oh fuck. Well, I can't answer this question, so I gotta figure out a good way of not answering the question.
comes into our care gets a Know Your Rights.
Like, look at her
presentation
face.
As well.
This woman does not care.
Times reports, these stories, the series of stories the New York Times has done on the children who are in your care. Have you read them?
Yes,
Have you read that children are scrubbing dishes? They are operating heavy machinery. They are delivering meals. They are harvesting coffee. They are working construction. They are working as housekeepers. They are working overnight shifts at plants where they are not paid. They are not going to school. They are not cared for. They are not getting meals. Almost all of it illegally. Are you aware of that?
Huh. Sounds like the 1920s when, labor laws didn't exist and children were working because of how small they were, and they were able to fit in small areas of machinery and clean them and fix them and stuff like that. Which, don't know if anyone remembers this, but historically, a lot of children got maimed and died from doing stuff like that. Which is why child labor laws were created in the first place. So, it almost seems like America's reverting backwards instead of forwards since Democratic leadership. Kind of ironically weird, huh?
That's a yes or no?
yes.
Do the Know Your Rights presentation help them in those situations?
No.
Senator ORR.
That's a yes or no, I think.
Yep.
Do you really think that you're helping these children by releasing them to labor traffickers and, yes, sex traffickers? 85,000 children whom you have no contact with, and your answer is we gave them a presentation before we turned them over to these people who are exploiting them on a scale not seen in this country for 100 years, a century. A century. It's a disgrace in the United States of America. Let me ask you this. You did an audit, I noticed, where you gave yourself a clean bill of health. So just tell me this. Do you require sponsors to document their relationship with the child?
Senator, we have a thorough vetting process.
Do you require sponsors to document their relationship with the child?
Yes, we go through.
No, you do not.
Oh,
You do not.
she
Have you read
lied.
The Senate's Permanent Subcommittee on Investigations reports on your office. There was one in 2016. There was one in 2018. There was one in 2020. There was
Every
one
2
in
years.
2022. Spanning administrations. What they found is you do not require sponsors to document their relationship with the child. You release them anyway. What about background checks? Do you require background checks on all adults in the household?
In cases where
Face,
the child
I
is being
swear to
released
God.
to their parents, we do not require background checks. But Senator, I would
Do you
really
require
like-
background checks on all adults in the household in any case?
Yes, in some cases we do.
What percentage of cases do you do background checks on the adults in the household?
I don't have that number.
You
Do
should.
home visits in all cases? You can actually see where these children are being released, whose care you're putting them in?
We do not do home visits in all cases. Senator, I'd really like the opportunity to talk about what we are doing.
I know what you're doing, and it's incredibly and totally inadequate.
I find it funny how, like, she doesn't want to answer the questions that they're being asked by the Senate Judiciary Committee, but she wants to give answers to questions that she's not being asked. Kind of ironically funny. And also, ironically funny, how every single time someone who Biden nominated or put into office or into power who goes in front of the committee always ends up sitting there backpedaling, trying to, talk backwards, or, oh, hey, no, oh, hey, yes, or, oh, well, in a way, kind of, oh, I'm not aware of this, when, in all actuality, they should. Kind of ironic how they're in a position, but yet they don't have any idea what's going on.
And we can read about it in the New York Times. Since you say you've read it, let's talk a little bit about that New York Times report if we could. Here's a quote from the April 17th installment. Again and again, veteran government staffers and outside contractors told HHS, including reports that reached the secretary, that children appeared to be at risk. Did you warn the secretary that children were at risk?
Senator, I'm in regular contact with the secretary. And
Did you warn him that children were at risk?
safety and well-being of children is our top priority.
Did you warn him that
not.
children were at risk?
I'm not going to get into the conversations I've had.
You're here and you're under oath, and this is an oversight hearing, and we need to know what you're doing because you're manifestly not doing your job. Did you warn him that children were at risk? Do you believe that children are at risk? Let's start with that.
Yes.
Okay, did you warn the secretary?
Senator, I'm not going to get into the specifics of my conversation, but I would like the
I'm not
Why
getting
wouldn't
the
you
specifics.
warn the secretary that children were
I
at
would
risk?
like the opportunity to talk about what we
Let's
are.
look at what the secretary said to you. The other one, James. Yeah, that one. At least 5 HHS staff members said they were pushed out after raising concerns about child safety. Mr. Becerra, the secretary, told the ORR director, that's you, right, that if she could not increase the number of discharges, he would find someone who could. And then he went on to say that if Henry Ford had run his plants like this, he would never have become famous and rich. This is not the way you do an assembly line.
Huh.
Get the kids out.
It's a
run
great
through,
comparison
get
to
them out
children,
those
right?
Sponsors, those traffickers. Why didn't you resign?
That man, he literally compared children to vehicles and as a commodity to make the economy richer. Basically saying, hey, look, we can give these children to companies. They can make exuberant amounts of money due to not having to pay these children anything because legally these children shouldn't be working. So legally they're not working. We're just having them do some chores around a building or whatever the hell they're doing. And then at the same time, just like how Mr. Holly was talking about, they're giving them to sex traffickers as well, which basically tells you the United States government is literally behind child sex trafficking, child slavery, and, oh hey, kidnapping, considering they want to sit there and give the prior administration crap for, separating children who were with adults who weren't their parents. But oh yeah, they ain't gonna say anything about the United States government giving children to people who aren't their parents and then they disappear. And those children are never seen again. Huh. I think which one's worse? Knowing where they are or willingly giving them to somebody and then never checking, never seeing, or hearing from them again? Huh.
Said this. Do you think that this is morally acceptable?
I don't.
Senator, I joined ORR in September of 2022. I believe that was reported prior to my arrival, but I cannot,
But this is from an article this year.
I can't speak to what the secretary.
Do you think that this is acceptable to run OR like an assembly line and to release these children
I
to
can assure you,
traffickers?
we do not run OR like an assembly line. The safety and well-being of children is our top concern.
No, it's
And
not.
by-
Plainly not. Plainly, it is not your top concern because you have managed to lose 85,000 of them. And the Times knows where they are, 2/3 of them, and they're with labor traffickers. It's unbelievable. Let me just ask you this. How many kids right now, the 430,000 approximately, unaccompanied children across the border under this administration, it's an astounding number. How many are you in regular contact with right now?
Senator, we have a number of different providers across the country. who
But what's the
provide
number? What's the
different-
number? How many are you in, you said child welfare is your top concern. What's the number?
I don't have the specific number.
How can you not know? Why would you come to this hearing and not know?
Respectfully, if you would like
It definitely
us
seems like
to
American
provide
leadership,
comprehensive
like
case management
Vice
to
President and
children
President,
after
are definitely
release
fine
from
with,
our
you
care,
know,
so we can
child labor.
Respectfully, I would like
And
you
child
to do
sex
your
labor.
job and not release children to human traffickers. Respectfully, that's what I would like. I'd like you not facilitate the largest child trafficking ring in American history.
Yep,
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I also agree with that. You know, children should actually be able to be children, plain and simple. But, these people don't think so, apparently. But, go figure, right? Go to find out that the Democratic leadership supports slavery. Ironic, right? Because history, guess who was the party of slavery? The Democrats. Who wanted slavery? Democrats. Who didn't want to free the slaves? Democrats. So, anyways, that's it for the video. Like, share, subscribe, spread the word. Stay free, America. Love you guys.